Hi everyone. Some of you have mentioned that you are having problems with consumer price index calculation for the group assignment. So I just wanted to remind you that we went over this when we talked about forecasting. If you remember, we talked about how is compounding different from inflation and how do you adjust for inflation. So go back to the slides before uh, the midterm. So it was just week before the midterm, so perhaps that's the reason that most of you were not paying attention. So it has these formulas about CPI calculation, etc. And there is a video that sums up what is a consumer price index and why do we need to adjust for inflation, etc., etc. Now, one of the things that I wanted to kind of show you was in the data that we have for the group assignment, you can easily adjust for consumer price index if you want, right? So, say for example, this is the data that I gave you. This is what it looks like. So you have data for all these years, etc., etc. So all the states. So some of you in fact wrote to me that you are not seeing these labels. So that is because you filtered out this row. So when you are filtering out things, so make sure that you select when you apply a filter. So you want to say, for example, you are doing Connecticut, or say for example, you are doing New York, right? So I will go and find where is New York, right? So New Jersey, New York, and I'll find where is Connecticut. Here is, for example, Connecticut. Okay. So I now have data just for New York and New York. So now if you see that the labels have disappeared. So if I want those labels to reappear, I'll go and select this another thing called state. This is where the state was, right? So I have calculated now I have all the data for Connecticut and New York. So what I can do is I clicked on Control All, so I selected everything and I can copy it. And once I have copied it, for example, I can paste it. I can either delete it in the same Excel or I can uh, paste it in a separate Excel sheet if I want. Right, so I pasted all this data in a separate Excel sheet. And if you want to retain these labels, these are census labels that are helpful, but if you want to get rid of them, you can get rid of them. But I'm just showing you here consumer price index, so I'll get rid of these, right? So I get rid of those, and I will show you just for total taxes. So I will get rid of everything else that is here. So I deleted everything else here, and you can when you are adjusting, depending on what indicators you are using, you can retain whatever other taxes that you want to retain, right? So I will bring back my filter so that I can sort things, and I can sort smallest to largest. Also I can sort by state. So I have now all the Connecticut data, for example, and all the New York data. So I'll get rid of New York also just for demonstration. I'm just demonstrating to you how to do these calculations. Now I have total taxes that Connecticut collected from 2000 to 2017. And of course, if you see this, if you just plot a line graph of this, you see that, of course, these revenues are increasing, right? Partially because of inflation, right? Now what I want to do is basically adjust all this revenue increase for inflation, because $100 back in 2000 are not same as $100 in 2017. So if you remember that slide that we had, right? So it gave you this entire formula of that you use the revenue number that you have. This gives you the nominal amount of revenue. This is the nominal revenue that we are seeing here, right? So these are all nominal revenues. And what we need is consumer price index for the year that you want to convert to and the year you are converting the year that you're converting from and the year you are converting to, right? So we want to express in this example that was we used in the class, we were converting everything to $2010. So 2010 was in the denominator. In the assignment, we are converting everything to $2017. So what is the consumer price index for 2017? We can go back and find consumer price index in our group assignment data sheet. So here is the consumer price index. So we have all these consumer price index for, we also have 2018. So if you want to convert to 2018, you may go ahead and do that, but I am just going to convert it to $2017, right? So I have these consumer price indexes here, and I will just copy everything here, right? So now I have the nominal taxes, right? So go back to the slide. So I have the nominal taxes, right? So this is the nominal dollar amount. This is the nominal dollar amount of the Connecticut's revenue in 2000. Similarly, the revenue is changing every year. So if you remember, there was a recession back in 2001. This is also the period what is called as dot-com bubble. So you see this minor dip in revenue here during the recession, and you see this 2008-2009. This was another recession when you see even a decrease in nominal revenue, and this is what the graph looks like. Okay, now what we will do basically is this is the year, this is consumer price index. So I'll just so that you don't lose track of the slides, this is the formula. I'll keep it here with you, but it disappeared. So what we want is nominal revenue multiplied by the year you are converting from divided by year you are converting to. So I am converting everything to $2017, right? So what I want to do is create a real revenue. Now all this data is in $1,000. Remember that, right? And GDP data, if you are using GDP data, that is in $1 million, right? So I want to use this formula, right? So I will do a equal to sign. I'll multiply this nominal revenue of Connecticut in 2000, and I want to convert this to 2017 revenue. So this gives me this number over here. This is C2, or the nominal revenue. And now I want to multiply it by consumer price index of Connecticut in the year I am converting from. The year I am converting from is 2000. So if you see here, it is also 172.722. Here it is also 172.2. So I will select the consumer price index for 2000, right? Now I want this consumer price index to change every year when we pull this down, right? But I want to convert everything to $2017. Therefore, I will select 2017 and I'll freeze this. Okay. Now everything will be converted to $2017 because of these dollar signs that I have put there, right? So you think about this formula that everything is $2017, right? And it will give me this number. Okay. And when I pull this down, it will give me the entire series of real revenue, right? So so you see the formula that I'm using, right? So C2 is the nominal revenue. This is the nominal revenue. F2 is the year I'm converting from. So in this year, I'm converting from 2000. In this year, I'm converting from 2001. That is F3. Similarly, in 2005, I'm converting from F7. That is 195 was my consumer price index. But if you see, F19 is fixed across all these. I messed up something here, but it's back. So F19 is common across all these values, and the reason it works is, see this 2017, because 2017 is 2017, this value and this value is identical, right? Because it was already in $2017. So similarly, this is also in 2017 dollars. We don't have to change because what we are doing is basically dividing F19 by F19, that is 1. Okay. Now what happens is the magic happens, right? So what this graph was, if you remember, was what? Nominal growth in Connecticut's revenue, total taxes, right? But now if I plot this graph, okay, I'll select all these values, I'll go to insert, I'll go to recommended charts, and I will do this. So now you see that the trend has changed a little, right? So it's not the same trend that you were seeing earlier, right? So it's a steeper slope. So this is the real revenue growth in Connecticut. Real total taxes. Specify what is this. Right? So that gives you an overview of what to do, right? So now everything, to reiterate, go back to the slides before the midterm, go through this video that explains what is a consumer price index, go through this formula, then you figure out whatever you want to convert in from nominal to real, you line up everything in the revenue section, you line up everything in this consumer price index section, and then you convert everything by using that formula, right? So the formula is nominal revenue multiplied by the year that you are converting from and the year that you are converting to, right? And when you do that, everything should be good. Okay, so that is it, and this is back. So I'll upload this video as well as this Excel sheet on the Blackboard, so that should help you to kind of undo these calculations easily. Okay, thank you.